Hello, fellow collectors. Frank M. TTM here, back with another TTM Success video. TTM stands for Through the Mail. This is Through the Mail Autograph Successes. I have 4 in the box today. 4 TTM Successes and 1 dreaded fail. All these TTM Successes have something in common. They're all former Major League Baseball players, and 3 of them were position players, and the other one was a pitcher who for one day in his career thought he may be a position player. Let's get right at it here. First, we got the dreaded fail. This was an 0 for 3. No fee, out of Tampa, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, and who did not sign my cards, Mr. Rick Miller, did not sign any of my cards, so I do appreciate him sending them back to me. And first success we have today is a 2 for 2. This took 251 days. Maybe my longest wait. Not sure, I have to look. No fee. This out of Miami, Florida. I was wondering if I was going to gift this back. Happy I did. I have missed Odabe McDowell on this 1990 Topps in blue ink with the Psalm 105 inscription. And we have this for the set on this 1987 Topps with the inscription, Frank, best wishes, Odabe McDowell. Looks like that's 1 John 4:4 is the biblical inscription. Thank you so much, Mr. McDowell. Really like that 87 Topps right there. This is Odabe McDowell. He was born on August 25th, 1952 in Hollywood, Florida. Odabe McDowell was a left-handed bat and throw-in center fielder that played 7 seasons in the majors. He played most of it with the Texas Rangers, 5 seasons, 85 to 88. Then he played another season in 1994 and played a half a season with the Cleveland Indians and played about a season and a half with the Atlanta Braves. McDowell, a noted multi-sport athlete at MacArthur High School in Hollywood, Florida, attended first Miami-Dade College, then Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona, where he was a 2-time All-American and won the prestigious Golden Spikers Awards for Best Amateur Baseball Player in the nation in 1984. Before he was drafted into the majors. In 1984, with ASU, he hit for a .405 batting average with 23 homers and 74 RBIs in 74 games. McDowell was inducted into ASU Hall of Fame in 1991, and they retired his number 0. He was also inducted into the National College Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011. While in college, McDowell also won a gold medal as a member of the 1981 United States national team in World Games 1 and was also a member of the 1984 United States Olympic team. And you might remember he has a 1985 Topps USA team card. He was initially drafted twice in 1981 and in 1982 twice again while he was at Miami-Dade. And once in 1983 while attending Arizona State, but did not sign. He finally signed as a first-round selection, 12th overall pick in the 1984 June amateur draft with the Texas Rangers. After just 31 minor league games playing for AAA Oklahoma City while hitting .400, he made his major league debut in May of 1985 at the age of 22. And in that his first season, he finished 4th in the AL Rookie of the Year voting, hitting for a .239 batting average with 18 homers and 42 RBIs in 111 games. Playing most of his games in center field, he also stole 25 bases and 32 attempts. And perhaps the biggest highlight of the season and maybe his career was on July 23rd, 1985, as McDowell was the first Texas Ranger player to hit for the cycle in a Rangers 8-4 victory over the Indians at Arlington Stadium. That was on May 25th, 1986. He also broke up a potential no-hitter from the Red Sox's Roger Clemens after 7 2/3. I remember that. I don't believe Roger Clemens ever went on to pitch a no-hitter in his career. And McDowell went on to have a productive sophomore season, hit for a .266 batting average with 18 homers and 49 RBIs and 33 steals in 48 attempts and 154 games, as he became a Ranger mainstay in Roman center field and batting leadoff. And as of 2009, I haven't got a more recent statistic, he was tied for second in Rangers history in career leadoff home runs with 8. His Texas Ranger teammate Charlie Huff is quoted as saying in the August 1986 Baseball Digest issue, "When Oldby plays well, we usually do well. He gives us speed, he gives us power, he gives us a spark. But honestly, I like his attitude just as much as his physical ability." From the great knuckleballer Charlie Huff, his teammate in Texas. Unfortunately, Odin McDowell's production with the Rangers tailed off in the 1987-88 seasons, and he was traded to the Cleveland Indians. He had to re-private the plate with the Atlanta Braves in 1989, hitting for .304, though he struggled in the base paths, getting thrown out 10 times in 75 stealing attempts. After the 1990 season with the Braves, he spent 4 years in the minor league systems of the Baltimore Orioles, California Angels, and Texas Rangers organizations before making a comeback with the Rangers in 1994, hitting .262 with 1 dinger and 15 RBIs in 59 games while stealing 14 bases in 16 attempts. Retired in 1995 after a brief stint in the New York Yankees minor league system. For his career, Odin McDowell hit for a .253 batting average with 74 homers and 266 RBIs in 830 career games. He stole 169 bases while getting caught stealing 53 times and had a .987 fielding percentage in the outfield, where he had excellent range, although he was criticized for his arm at times. And McDowell's currently the head coach at his high school, his alma mater high school, Arcta High School. He's a varsity baseball team coach in Hollywood, Florida. Thank you so much. I'm glad to get this return from Mr. McDowell. It's quite a huge prospect at that time in the mid '80s, and didn't quite pan out, but he had some great potential, and he had some couple great years with the Rangers. All right, thank you so much. Next in the box, we have a 4 for 4 and 16 quick days, no fear. This is out of Cleveland, Ohio. We have Mr. Rick Manning. This is on the 1981 Topps. For the set on the 1988 Flair. Shout out to Isaac at Hunt. The Hunt Continues. Oh, that's a set you like, and we got him on the 83 Topps. And I like that one. I really do like that one a lot. I don't know which one I like the best. And on the 1987 Topps as well, we have for the set, this is Richard Eugene Manning. He was born on September 2nd, 1954 in Niagara Falls, New York. His nickname Archie, after former New Orleans Saints quarterback Archie Manning. He's a left-handed bat and right-handed throw in center field. He played 13 seasons, 1975 to 87 in the majors with the Cleveland Indians and the Milwaukee Brewers. He was the second overall selection in the 1972 June amateur draft out of LaSalle High School in Niagara Falls. Debated in the majors with the Cleveland Indians of May of 1975 at just 20 years old. Hitting for a .285 batting average for his rookie season with 19 steals in 120 games. In his sophomore season with the Indians in 1976, he had a career-high .292 with 16 steals and won and only Gold Glove, playing primarily center field. Manning was the Indians' regular center fielder for several seasons and even caught the final out of Len Barker's perfect game on May 15, 1981. A fly ball off the bat of Ernie Whitt in center field. Manning was traded to the Milwaukee Brewers during the 1983 season for Gorman Thomas. Stormin Gorman, a crowd favorite and a former home run champion. The trade was not well received in Milwaukee, even though Manning was a good defensive outfielder who had speed and was able to hit line drives to all corners of the ballpark. With the Brewers, Manning began to play in few games in 1986 when Robin Yount was moved to center field. But he did get caught up in one more memorable moment before his career ended in 1987. This occurred on August 26, 1987. The Brewers were playing the Indians. And the Brewers' Paul Molitor was hoping to extend his 39-game hitting streak. By the 10th inning, the game was scoreless and Molitor had gone 0 for 4. Cue the moment. Manning comes up to pinch hit with Paul Molitor on deck and runners on first and second. Doug Jones of the Indians threw a strike. The fans cheered, confusing Manning since a win was close at hand. Manning is quoted as saying, "When I heard the cheers after the first strike, I had to step out of the batter's box and collect myself. I wonder if I have gotten traded back to the Cleveland Indians or something. But I checked my uniform, was still a Milwaukee one." Then he realized that the fans actually wanted him to make an out, to give Molitor another chance to bat. But he hit a walk-off single. Fans booed Manning even though he just clinched a victory for the Brewers. Meanwhile, Molitor was the first to give Manning a hug, so unique getting booed at home with a walk-off single. Manning retired after the 1987 season for his career. He was a .257 hitter with 56 home runs, 458 RBIs, in 168 stolen bases in 1,555 games. Since 1990, he has served as the color commentator for the Cleveland Indians telecast. Manning has the longest tenure of any television announcer in team history. Thank you so much, Mr. Manning. I do appreciate it very much. Next in the box, we have a 4 for 4 in 21 quick days. No fee out of Tampa, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida. We have Mr. And he did answer a few questions as well, Mr. Get him out of there. Don Robinson. Don Robinson here on this 1987 Topps for the set. We have it on the 1981 Topps for the set, and also have it on the 1988 Flair with the Giants and the 1990 Topps with the Giants. I think I like that in action one there in 81. That does. The rest do look cool too. On the old school Pirates uniforms. We have Don Allen Robinson. He was born on June 8th, 1957 in Ashland, Kentucky. He was a 6'4" right-handed throwing, batting pitcher who played 15 seasons, 1978 to 1992 in the majors. A big bulk of them, 9.5 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He spent 4.5 with the San Francisco Giants, and in his final season, he had a few starts with the California Angels and the Philadelphia Phillies. He was nicknamed the Caveman late in his career by Giants teammate Mike Krokop for his physique and his ability to endure numerous surgeries and shots. He was first drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates at 18 years old in the third round of the 1975 June amateur draft out of San Rito Canova High School in Canova, West Virginia, and he made his major league debut at 20 with the Pirates in April of 1978. In his rookie season of 78, Robinson went 14-6 with a 3.47 ERA. His win-loss percentage was second only to NL Cy Young Award-winning Gaylord Perry. Robinson was named the Sport News NL Rookie Pitcher of the Year in 78 and was third in the overall NL Rookie of the Year voting. He finished 8th in a Cy Young Award contest. During his sophomore season, he pitched in 6 postseason games, winning 2 and helping the Pittsburgh Pirates to win the 1979 World Championship Shout out to Math Bowler out there, a big Pirates fan. His only world championship of his career, Mr. Robinson. Robinson was regarded the best. Also, he was regarded one of the best hitting pitchers during his time, winning 3 Silver Slugger awards in 1982, 89, and 90. And even considered converting to a position player during the 1984 season. He was battling pitcher injuries. Robinson started a game in left field for the Pittsburgh Pirates on September 30th, 1984. He went 1 for 3 with 2 putouts in the game. He batted third in the batting order. However, he did not make the move to position player as he recovered from his injury. He went on to pitch effectively until 1992. On June 19, 1990, playing for the San Francisco Giants, he hit a home run as a pinch hitter off of Bruce Hurft of the San Diego Padres. He was the last pitcher to hit a pinch homer until Mitch Owens did it on April 30th, 2008. Robinson is quoted as saying his career was a testimony as much as to his stamina and persistence as his split fastball, deadly curve, and silver bat. For his career, he won 109 games and lost 106 with a 3.79 ERA and 524 career games, 229 of them starts. Of those starts, he had 34 complete games and 6 shutouts, out of the bullpen he recorded 57 saves. At the plate, he hit for a career 231 batting average with 13 home runs and 69 RBIs and 631 at-bats. Currently, Robinson is the pitching coach for State College of Florida baseball team in Brenton, Florida. So thank you so much, Mr. Robinson. Do appreciate it very much. And he did answer a few questions here. And I asked him, who was your favorite catcher to work with? That'd be Kurt Manwaring. It was a catcher with Giants, and toughest batter, he struck out the great Pete Rose. That was a tough strikeout there. And any advice for young players? Accept failure as part of the game. So thank you for your answer those questions and your advice, Mr. Robinson. I do appreciate it very much. Last but not least, we have a 1-for-1. This took 203 days. As I got my Christmas stamp there. That was back in January, I would say, or December. No fee. Out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we have Mr. Felix Mantella. This is here on the 1965 Topps with my Red Sox. And the blue ink, I like that placement there. This is Felix Mantella. He was born on July 29th, 1934 in Isabela, Puerto Rico. Mr. Mantella was one of the early major leaguers from Puerto Rico, breaking into the majors 1 year after fellow Puerto Rican Roberto Clemente. Mantella was a 6-foot-tall right-handed bat and throwing infielder. Mostly second baseman, sometimes outfielder, played 11 seasons, 1956 to 66 in the majors with Series 6 season with the Milwaukee Braves, and he spent the season 1962 with the New York Mets, spent 3 seasons with the Boston Red Sox, and his final seasons in 1966 with the Houston Astros. Nicknamed El Gato, which means the cat. Mantella was the third baseman for the Puerto Rican national team that won the 1951 Amateur World Series for their lone world title, and was initially signed by the Boston Braves at 17 years old before the 1952 season. After 4 seasons in the Mighty, he made his major league debut with the now Milwaukee Braves in June of 1956. He spent his first 6 years as primarily a backup infielder with the Milwaukee Braves, never getting more than 251 at-bats in a season. He appeared in both the 1957 World Series, in which the Braves beat the New York Yankees in 7 games, and the 1958 series, which the Braves lost to the Yankees. He went on to be drafted by the New York Mets in the 1962 expansion draft and got his first season of regular starting time with the Mets in 1962, mainly at third base. Although the Mets lost 122 games, Mantella had a respectable season, appearing in 141 games, hit 11 home runs with a .275 batting average, which was the second highest bat among regulars for the Mets. He was then traded to the Boston Red Sox after the 1962 season, where he began to develop as a slugger late in his career. Mantella didn't get much playing time during the 1963 season with the Red Sox, appearing in just 66 games, but he batted .315. And when Eddie Broussard suffered a severe heel sprain and bruise, Mantella filled in for him, and he began playing at second base regularly for the last 2 weeks of the season. Through 1963, Mantella just had 35 home runs in 1,597 at-bats, averaging a homer every 45.6 at-bats. But his bat exploded for power in 1964. Playing in 133 games in 1964, filling in at all the outfield positions and at second base, third base, and shortstop, hitting for a .289 batting average. He hit 30 home runs and knocked in 64 runs in 425 at-bats, averaging a homer every 14.2 at-bats. So he pretty much equaled his home run outage of his first 8 seasons of his career in just that season. What caused this sudden power surge? Cleveland manager Bertie Tibbetts, who also managed Mantella in Milwaukee, had a theory. When he went to the Polo Grounds, it became necessary to pull the ball, that he developed a swing that lifted the ball up. That's a swing that's perfect for Fenway Park. And he became probably the most improved man in a career I have ever saw. He was those friendly confines of Fenway Park suited Mantella very well. As a Red Sox regular starting second baseman in 1965, he was selected to his first and only All-Star game while hitting for a .275 batting average with 18 homers and 92 RBIs, 150 games. Just before the start of the 1966 season, Mantella was traded to the Houston Astros for infielder Eddie Klasko. Mantella had hurt his arm and shoulder during spring training and thought the Red Sox had decided that it was a good time to move him. He was puzzled that the Red Sox told him the trade was for youth, but Klasko was 2 years older than him. For the Astros, Mantella spent most of the first month of the season on the disabled list, then batted just .219 with 22 runs batted in 77 games, 151 plate appearances. In the Astros' final game of the season, October 2nd against the Mets at Shea Stadium, Mantella had a home run, a double, and 3 runs batted in what turned out to be his last Major League game. In February of 1967, he signed with the Chicago Cubs, who were closer to his home in Milwaukee, though while in spring training with the Cubs, and Mantella tore his Achilles tendon during a timing drill and retired from baseball. And he does, interestingly, have a Cubs card in, I believe, the 1967 set, although he never played a Major League game, regular season game with the Cubs. For his career, Mantella was a .261 hitter with 89 home runs and 330 RBIs in 2,707 at-bats. Thank you, Mr. Mantella. So happy to get you back in the mail. I love getting these old timers a lot, and I love getting TTM. And don't you love getting TTM? I love getting TTM returns and baseball returns today to share as we get close to the trade deadline here, and we're getting towards the end of the baseball season. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Odie McDowell. Thank you so much, Mr. Rick Archie Manning and Mr. Don. I'm not a field position player, Robinson, and Mr. Felix El Gato Mantella. I thank you so much for your returns. A little bit longer video today, but hope these are good ones and you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think that which one was your favorite. I hope you're having a good week this week, and thank you for joining me for another TTM Success video. Take care. God bless. Peace.